We are ready now for the next step of our cell phone modeling project. Before I continue, I'm going to save this as cell phone step 1 and go ahead and hit the save file. And now I'd like to place the 3D cursor in a position which will help us when we add our objects. I'm going to place it over here visually at the center of this circular part. We're going to make that our hinge point, and here I'm going to place it at the center of our cell phone left to right. You can see it move down over here. I probably should have done the front first. Oh, I held a little too long on my left button. Just a click is all I need. So that right there, we're using as a target to center up the center of our, that's funny. We're using the 3D cursor in order to place our cube or our component that we're going to model with, and using that as the hinge point. So now over in the front view, I'll use spacebar to get the add menu, add mesh, cube. And we'll go ahead and go into a draw type of wireframe. Draw type of wireframe. Go into edit mode. Remember, the shortcut for edit mode is the tab key. You can tab in, tab out, tab in, tab out, tab in. So now using the manipulators, and let's see, global mode's good. Hold shift, turn on the other manipulator parts. Hold shift, turn on the other manipulator parts. I'm going to begin to size this to fit in the front view. We're not going to make this an extremely detailed model. I just want to show you some modeling basics, how we're scaling and sizing this. Now we're working in two views, the side view and the front view. We're going to get the approximate width that we want, and then I'm going to rotate that into place. Making some fine adjustments. Alright, we'll be using our various selection tools. One thing that we'll be doing a lot is using the A and the B. The A to do an all select, all deselect, all select, all deselect, all select. It's very handy. The B to create a box, a selection box. It's important that when we're making selections here that we are sure that we're selecting both sides of the box. You can see in this view that both sides are selected. If I middle mouse over here too, you can see what I'm talking about. I want to make sure we get both the front edge and the back edge. Go back to number 3 there. A. I'm going to use B, draw a selection box around this. Again, we have both the front and the back edge, as you can see over here. I'm going to use the E key to extrude. E, extrude edges. Again. E again, and continue using E. Once again, I'm not trying to make an overly detailed model here. We just want to get the principles worked out, show you how this works. Alright, let me show you now how to connect these up. I'm going to stop there and leave a gap, and we're going to middle mouse and turn this and demonstrate how this is done. If we right click near a vert, we'll select it. I'll hold shift, right click near this one. I'm going to turn these manipulators off. See, they're both selected. If I use the F key, it will fill an edge. I can do the same thing here. Right click and then a shift right click, F to fill, and the edges are filled now, but I don't have the face filled, so I'll hold shift down, select the additional vertices, and hit F again, and that is sufficient to fill a four-sided face. The F key is for an edge fill or face fill. Now I'd like to fill also the sides of these openings here, so this is a good opportunity again to hit A and then B. The A and B is a very frequently used combination. A to clear or select all, and then the B to do a bounding box selection. So right now if I hit the F key after that's selected, it says make faces. I'll say auto, but it doesn't fill it, and that's because with a multi-sided opening like this you need to use the Shift F or Alt F commands. Let's take a look at both. The Shift F gives us a triangulated fill. Now I'm going to backspace, I'm not backspace but undo, Control Z. The Alt F does not work right now because I haven't filled it. The Shift F will give us a triangulated fill. The Alt F next will try to beauty the fill, basically improve its appearance. And I can't tell you really whether I think that that's an improvement or not. Let's go into a draw type solid, see what we think here. Also, this button right here, that toggles the transparency of the object for purposes of selecting vertices and edges and faces. Although that works, I'm not really in love with it, so I'm going to back up and we're going to do a little bit of manual filling on this. So A key again, I'm going to turn on transparency again, and what I sometimes like to do is just come in and fill these manually. Another method I can use is I can go into edge select mode right here, select that edge, F to fill, and then I'm left with only one little triangle right here, and I can fill that triangle. But I think that what I want to do is I actually want to make it a quad, so it's not a triangle. So I'm going to adjust my model a bit here, turn on my manipulator again, and let's see, get in a side view. I'm going to move that a little bit. I'm doing some of this just to show you what can be done. Select that edge, hit K for knife, do a loop cut. As I move my mouse, you can see the position of the loop cut option changes. And there we have it, a new cut. And I'll go in the side view again. Just going to push that out and down a bit. Adjust that. Okay, now I've added an extra edge into that face. So now I can come in here and select this face and this edge and this edge, and turn off the manipulator there, and again hit F key and fill that. And the nice thing is that it has connected the pieces just like I needed them. So just show that there. Just grab it and move it around to show you how it's all connected. So that's really pretty. Got a nice clean thing going there. So let's try this over here now. See how I have this vert selected over here? It's a good reason to always hit that A. You can check it, just make sure everything's cleared off. Let's go ahead and select all of these. You can use the individual vert selection holding the shift. I'm going to do another way using the B to draw a box around that. You can use the control left mouse lasso. Many different ways that you can do this. Another way with the B is to do B twice and then use the left mouse button to paint selection, and then you can use the middle mouse to remove the selection. So if you don't remember the different selection techniques, check out the video on selection techniques and refresh yourself there. So I'm going to right click to release that, hit the B once, draw a border selection box around this, and I'm going to do Shift F and try to fill this. Now here we get the zigzag triangulated pattern again. Let's try an Alt F beauty fill on that. Alright, well, we still have triangles, so I'm going to try go here, faces, and we're going to convert triangles to quads. Boom. And this is what we got there. So once again, some interesting choices were made here that I don't totally agree with. So I'm going to back up. We're just going to do this manually. Select the edge mode. It's a little faster than selecting the vertices. I'm going to do a face fill there. F to fill there. F to fill there. F to fill there. Alright, that's a nice fill right there. Okay, back to a number 3 side view. And we need to decide what we're going to do with the circular part. So I'm going to show you another way, rather than extruding, that we can deal with the circular part here. And first I want to get my 3D cursor snapped back to this object. So I'm going to tab into object mode. I'm going to do a Shift S for a snap menu and snap the cursor to selection, and you can see it snapped right there. And let's take a look over here. You can see that it's snapped to the center. I'm going to use the space bar, add a mesh cylinder, and in this case I'm just going to use a let's use a 12-sided cylinder. And right now we have cap ends on. We're not going to cap the ends right now. And my cylinder came in vertically like this. Depending on your settings in the user preferences window, the way that things are added, the align to view will cause items to be added aligned to the view. And I'll give you an example here. Move this aside. Excuse me. Add mesh cylinder. That cylinder is aligned to the view. That's what I intended to do. I'm accustomed to having aligned to view on. However, since I didn't have it on, it gives us a good opportunity, I'll turn it back off, to work with this right here. I'm going to go in my front view, and I'm going to do a rotation, and this time I know I want a 90-degree rotation exactly, so I'm going to do R90, and I get an exact 90-degree rotation. I hit enter to confirm that, and now I'm going to use the S key to scale. And now I'm going to use my manipulator to scale this out. In this particular case, I want to scale this out all the way to the edge. So that it lines up with this part here. And here I'm going to use the G key to grab, and I'm just going to freely move it, and I would like to constrain it, so I'm going to middle click to constrain, and that's another method of constraining. And I can see that I want to scale that a little bit here. I'm going to use the S key to scale it. Over here it got shorter, so I'll go ahead and pull it back out. I'm going to use S, middle click to constrain, get that just the way I want it, right there lined up. Alright, now this cylinder and this are separate objects. I would like to connect the two together, so I need to join the two. So we're going to go Object, Join Objects. The shortcut for that is Control J. So we'll do the shortcut Control J, and now they're joined, so that if I go into edit mode, they're all part of one object now. Okay, so go into the side view, turn on the verts. I'm going to use the B selection. Go ahead and select all those vertices. You can see over here what I've got, and I'm going to use the X, and I'm going to delete vertices. Alright, now let me show you another way we can deal with a gap like this. Last time we filled that space, so it's a very narrow space, and I don't think we need to fill that this time. I'm going to select that vertice first, and then we'll shift select that one, and I'm going to use the merge command. Alt M is the shortcut, and I'm going to merge it at the last selected vertice. And here again, select this one, shift select that one, Alt M, and merge it at the last vertice. So now that is connected via a merge, and you can choose whether to merge first, last, center, etc. Alright, up here we're going to use the same technique that we used at the bottom. We're going to extrude. Just going to do the edges and extrude, extrude. And I will say while I'm doing this, there are many ways to model objects. I'm showing you a way that involves a fair amount of basic modeling tools and gives you a little practice doing that. I can't tell you that this is the absolute best way to model a phone, but it's a way and it works just fine. Fill that with the F key. So again, we got some open sides. We can give Blender a chance to do its own thing there. Let's turn on beauty down here, see if that helps us. And let's try Shift F, and we get that. Let's try an Alt F, and we get that. And we could try switching this to quads. Mesh. Faces. Convert triangles to quads, and we get that. None of it's really what I want. So instead, I'm going to take a look at this and try to decide what I do want. Well, if I go into edge mode and I just start connecting faces, let's see what happens. Shift, select, whoops, I got the back one. Let's click it one more time to get rid of it. Fill that in. Fill that in. Well, that's certainly no good right there. So I'm going to undo that. fill that in. And then go 1, 2, 3. Let's see, we can fill that in. And what have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to be any good because that point is lower than that, so it's not going to be a happy fill. Let's change this. I'm going to delete that edge. Delete edges. And instead, I'll turn that off so you can see this a little better. I'm going to fill that in right there, and then fill that in. So it takes a little experimenting sometimes. The more you model, the more it'll come to you. But I like that configuration better. I can't say it matters a whole lot with a cell phone, but it'll matter if we start to try to smooth the cell phone or change its shape. And